So, Mr. Silverquill, tell me what's on your mind. Tell me what's on your mind. Tell me what's on your mind. It's on your mind. It's on your mind. Your mind.
He's the Brony Fandom Doctor that has helped many bronies through the toughest of times. You're about to WatchPony.com and we're counting down our picks for the top 10 moments with Dr. Wolf.
Came all the way out here to tell me that? Why didn't you go see Dr. Wolf?
Doctor Who?
No, not Doctor Who, Dr. Wolf.
Who?
For this list, we did something a little different. We actually teamed up with Dr. Wolf himself and made a voting system where you could vote in Dr. Wolf's announcement video and online at WatchPony.com. We also put in consideration the depth of the topics, the lessons and morals that are being taught, and overall audience approval.
Though at the same time, I hope you won't be dismissing any of those positive comments.
We're not basing our choices on character popularity, which means we are excluding fictional characters, since moments with the main 7 would take up way too many spots. Sorry about that.
What could I possibly have any right to complain about?
That said, we're also limiting to 1 moment per patient. We're looking at you, Firebrand.
Well, he always pays for the damage. How, I'll never understand.
Number 10, Scribbler, and small actions, large consequences. Kicking off our list is Scribbler Productions, talking about the dark side of the Brony fandom we try to ignore. Despite being one of the best dramatic readers in the fandom, Scribbler has had videos being taken down due to disagreements between pairings.
Reported a couple of my videos to YouTube as inappropriate for, well, basically because they didn't like the pairings in them.
The issue of having others report your content is not a good feeling, and most think that because they are a big following that it won't matter, but we see it makes the content creators see themselves worse.
You can remember how much good you have spread.
We should take from this conversation to think before we act. Number 9. How to attract your special sun pony. This was a popular one, gaining over 59,000 views. This was the first time we get to see Mrs. Wolf give input in a video, even if we don't exactly hear her voice.
I believe the best approach to finding the right sun pony for you is to start out as friends and to be the kind of pony you want to find your special sun pony.
While this moment isn't exactly like the usual moment videos, this video gives a more relaxed vibe and is more of a casual talk among friends, which is a good thing since the topic about relationships are one of the most difficult things to talk about. The tips in that video, however, are very good, and the best advice usually comes from those who have had experience from their own lives. Number 8. Toon versus cartoons. One of the biggest things to happen in the analysis community, cartoons collaborated with many different analyzers in a story arc that reflected self-hate and motives to bullying.
It just won't go away. It won't stop. It won't shut up. It won't stop.
In this moment with Dr. Wolf, Toon Critic had a painful past of hurting his friends, so badly it's traumatizing. Toon was wishing to get rid of his alter ego until Dr. Wolf reminded him of something very important.
Don't turn yourself away from those flaws you find unacceptable. Instead, use them.
This is a great lesson for all artists who have a dark side. Remember that everything has potential. Number 7. Lightning Bliss and accepting help. A lesson that a lot of bronies should practice more often. Content creators are often overwhelmed in their own projects and in helping others when they insist on doing it all on their own.
Honestly, guilt. Overwhelming guilt.
Lightning Bliss comes in to talk about this, because in her case, it gives her an ugly feeling knowing someone else edited this episode. And while being productive is great, there is a line that limits potential growth to those who want to help. This is also visually one of the best videos with adorable artwork by Hungry Soma. Number 6. KP and leading by example. I Love Kim Possible a Lot has been the subject for a lot of rumors, good and bad. some from the trolls and others from bronies that used to work for her. And being a big name in the Brony fandom, it's very important for her not to have your audience confused about being the good guy or the bad guy.
To get aggravated with my expectations and leave my team or are just interested in helping. But then to think of my current team who has such a fun time making content and working for me, and their work is being appreciated by a bigger audience. Am I a bad guy or a good guy?
The pressure is intense, even when working with her channel, but both KP and Dr. Wolf explain and advise on common problems when facing situations that overwhelm us and the people we work with. Number 5. Silver Quill on mortality. Silver Quill is a great analyzer, and the talks he has with Dr. Wolf are very in-depth, talking about a topic that a lot of bronies wonder about. Silver brought up some interesting points about how death works in the world of Equestria.
A lot of stories and comics I've seen aren't just about death, but living on after someone we love has passed. I think that MLP offers just the right level of honest, open characters that we can project ourselves and our thoughts onto, using them as a vector for our own reactions.
Will Twilight outlive her friends? Or Cadence outlive Shining Armor? Even bringing in moments of their own lives, we see how bronies made projects that tackle this wonderful topic. Too bad it was all a dream. Number 4. Firebrand and anger management.
Give the doctor a prize. He can point out the bleeding obvious.
Starting off on the wrong foot, Firebrand has had a bit of an anger issue, but his anger is toward himself. Firebrand can be seen here constantly blaming himself for getting upset and responding to hate comments that stick in his head and can't shake off. And while it is a normal thing for content creators, it is a non-ending cycle with Firebrand, getting stressed to the point of anger.
I get angry. I respond in anger, they respond in anger, my fans see our conversation, they respond in anger, I look at what I've done, and then I get angry at myself for allowing it.
Firebrand has even tried and failed with other attempts, but Doc knows just what a friend needs: support. Number 3. Dr. Wolf and striving onwards without your dreams. One of, if not the most touching videos on this list. This moment with Dr. Wolf is one of the least appreciated ones out there. In this case, it's the other way around. Dr. Wolf has something to get off his chest as he talks with his brother, Tyrek.
You see, I had to accept the fact that working towards my greatest dream and constantly hitting that same wall over and over again was only serving to bring down my self-confidence.
In this talk, Dr. Wolf has a dream he was striving and working hard for, but sometimes life just doesn't work out the way we all hope. This video really makes us feel for the doc. He is an inspiration to many, and to see him like this makes him all the more relatable. Number 2. Animated James and changing yourself for the better. This is the most viewed video on this list, and was drawn by Animated James himself. Like a lot of comedians, Animated James went through a tough childhood where he struggled just to fit in. He struggles with realizing that he is unoriginal and wishes that his past was different.
The ISTJ is the most unoriginal, uncreative, practical, plays by the rules type there is.
His mentality is a big reason why he's unhappy, and a lot of viewers can feel this way. Unoriginal, uninspired, can't seem to fit in, and all those things are really hard to fix. But with the right steps, it can work. For the number 1 pick, let's take a look at a few honorable mentions.
Though it wasn't just that, I was tired of making videos in general.
Makes them stronger, makes them appreciate each other more, and gives them a stronger sense of understanding.
If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have made it as far as I have now. I wouldn't have met you or the rest of the community.
And I kept going. I guess I just feel that that's not what my father would have wanted.
Also, before, we would like to thank Dr. Wolf for his help in making this top 10. And if you're interested in seeing this list from his point of view, be sure to check out his channel and his own top 10, where he talks about this very list and gives his input and feedback. Thanks again, Doc. Number 1. Keyframe and depression. As Dr. Wolf said in the description, perhaps the most genuine subject we've ever discussed on A Moment with Dr. Wolf. Keyframe has told a scary tale of a friend of hers who had a terrible past. So terrible she nearly ended her life, until ponies came into the picture.
Almost by fate, she found this fandom and this show. It became like a sanctuary for her.
The way this fandom works is amazing, since quite a few people have had similar instances. But depression is not a small thing. It is a serious matter that must be helped with, because no one should go through depression alone. Do you agree with our list?
Learn something new every day.
Which moment with Dr. Wolf was your favorite? Let us know in the comments. But for more top 10s posted every week, be sure to subscribe and check out WatchPony.com for more. Thank you for watching, and again, a big thanks to Dr. Wolf. Be sure to check his channel out, and you may now look away.
What have I unleashed? It's good to be helping.